And by the time I was taking the detours, I noticed that there were two men around early 20s who were following me. I was walking. No one was there to help me. And you can't just walk up to any stranger and say, "Hey, help, I need help." I rushed, opened the door, checked behind me. Welcome back to Modern Chivalry, gentlemen. In our previous video, we explored the art of adaptive communication. If you haven't watched that, I recommend you watching it. Today, we're taking it up another notch. But before we dive in, let me ask you this. Have you ever been captivated by someone's word, hanging on every syllable, completely lost in their narrative? Well, stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to become that captivating storyteller yourself. Our topic today is the art of storytelling, elevating your conversations to unforgettable. Now, you might be thinking, storytelling? I'm not trying to write a novel here. But trust me, gentlemen, mastering the art of storytelling in everyday conversation is a superpower that will set you apart in both personal and professional settings. Let's dive into the techniques that will transform you from a good communicator to a truly memorable one. 1. Every storytelling starts with the hook. Start your stories with a compelling opening line that immediately grabs attention. It could be an intriguing question, a surprising statement, or a vivid description. Why is this important? A strong hook captures interest instantly and makes people want to hear you more. So your action step. Practice creating hooks for everyday stories. Next time you're sharing an anecdote, a memory, start with something like, "You'll never believe what happened on me on the way to work today," or something, right? Creating hooks on spot is rather difficult. Reason why: you need to start first of all with a repertoire of hooks you can use in different occasions, in different situations. 2. The sensory palette. In storytelling, incorporate sensory details into your stories. Why do this? Sensory details makes your story more vivid and immersive, allowing listeners to experience it almost as if they were there. So your action step. When recounting your next experience, consciously include at least 3 sensory details. Now, third element, the emotional journey. Take your listeners on an emotional journey. Share how you felt at different points in the story and why. Why is this crucial? Emotions are contagious. We are emotional beings after all. So when you share your feelings, you create an emotional connection with your audience. So your action step. In your next story, explicitly state your emotions at key points. I was so excited when, or I felt a pit in my stomach as if there was a war raging on. Like, I just want to go on. You get the format. 4. The power of pause. In storytelling, strategic pauses can create suspense, emphasis, or allow for reflection. Why do this? Because your audience pauses rather gives your audience time to process, try to anticipate, and engage more deeply with your story. So your action step. Your next anecdote, consciously insert pauses before revealing key points or punchlines. 5. The relatable element. Include elements in your story that your audience can relate to. This could be common experiences, shared values, or universal emotions. Why is this important? Relatability creates connection. When people see themselves in your story, they become more interested in it. So your action step. Before sharing a story, think about your audience and include at least one element they're likely to relate to. Now, Here's the game-changing technique I promised. The story arc. Every great story, no matter how short, follows a basic structure. Setup, conflict, and resolution. Why is this so powerful? This basic structures gives your story a satisfying shape that keeps listeners engaged from beginning to end. It turns even simple anecdotes into compelling narratives. So here's how to use it. Setup. Introduce the characters and setting. Conflict. Present the challenge or problem. And resolution. Share how the situation was resolved or what was learned. So I challenge you to use this story arc in your conversation this week. Whether you're sharing a word anecdote or personal experience, consciously structure it with these 3 elements. I have an anecdote to share. One time in the country I've been to, and that country is known as Cameroon, it was nighttime, around 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. ish, and they sent me to go buy some drinks, some beverage. And I went outside, and we were rather close. And because Cameroon was rather of an underdeveloped country that I visited, there wasn't really much light, so I was walking in the hallway, and then I reached towards where the market was. There was not a short market, but like a shop or a marketplace that was quite busy at that time. I looked for beverages. I couldn't find the beverages they asked me for. So I kept walking, and before I realized, I covered around a distance of 1.5 kilometers or a mile from my house. I found the beverage, put it in the bag, and I was heading back home. As I was heading back home, I felt this uneasy feeling behind me, as if I was being followed. My heart started to race. I started to sweat, and it was still dark. And remember, we're around like 10 to 11 p.m. ish. By that time, it's around like 10:30 p.m. I look behind me, and I see some people following me. So I take multiple detours, and every single time I keep on glimpsing behind me to see who are the exact people who are following. And by the time I was taking the detours, I noticed that there were 2 individuals, two men around early 20s, who were following me, because they have been following me in the same route ever since. I even made so many turns that I just went into a circle and they were still behind me. Then I realized I was being followed. I did not know what to do. I did not know why I chose to go out to buy the beverage. I thought it was closed, so I left my phone back at home. I was walking. No one was there to help me. And you can't just walk up to any stranger and say, "Hey, help, I need help, I'm being followed." Who knows? That person you might have asked help might be with them. It might have all been a plan. So I was walking faster and faster, increasing the pace. I glimpsed behind me. They're also increasing the pace. Now right there, I do not know what to do. 16-year-old boy who went out 10:30 p.m. to buy beverages in a country that's underdeveloped. There's not really cameras out there on the street. So I'm starting to panic. I'm panicking. My heart rate is increasing. I do not know what to do, and I do not know who to turn to. So I keep on walking. I try to shake them off. Turn left, go straight, turn right, go straight, turn left, go straight, turn right. I keep on glimpsing behind me, and they're still following me. At that point, I'm like, at this point, if there's no other way to do, I will start dashing off. But the thing is, 16-year-old boy in an underdeveloped country, it's dark, and you start running. The thought came to my mind, if I start running, people might think I'm a stealer. Like, it's a common notion that people have over there. So I couldn't run. I'm just there fast pacing. At fast pace. I didn't realize time went on. 1 hour, 2 hours passes. By that time we're like 1 a.m. and it's still quite busy. But the 2 strangers are still approaching me. Damn, I didn't know what to do. So this is what I did. I just headed back home. I went past towards the first market, the first shop, the marketplace that I went to, where there was barely the beverage I was looking for, but there were people there. So over there, I fulfilled my way into the crowd, and then I just darted off. I didn't dart straight back home, but I went towards another direction. I darted off. I turned right. Then I turned right to go back home to the road where it was home. I rushed, opened the door, checked behind me. They would not follow me. I realized that I managed to finally loosen them up. I was relieved. Coming back home, the guests actually started to leave. But it was a good thing that the beverage wasn't really for them. It was for a family relative who was staying at my place. So then I come home and I'm afraid. Then I see my dad coming downstairs. He wore everything. He put his shoes on. He was already about to go out. Right? He's a man of the house. He's the man who provides for everything. I see he was furious. He says, "Where have you been? We've tried calling you, but we noticed that you left your phone at home. We told you to go buy the beverages." It's like, "Yeah, I know. I didn't really find the beverages to the common marketplace, so I decided to work further and actually found the beverages." And then he didn't really burst out in rage, but I felt the rage inside of him, and he was containing it because he was worried about me, worried about my safety, telling me it's not safe out there. If you didn't find the beverages, you should have come back. I was just relieved. He was, in a sense, scolding me, but I was just relieved that I was safe. My heart was still racing, thinking about the moment that what if I was caught? What if this? What if that? He cooled down. He left. And then my uncle, whom was sent by my father, by my dad, asked me, "Where have you been?" And I told him everything. I told him I was followed by two random strangers. I did all of my way to loosen them. I couldn't loosen them for like an hour and a half. So then I found a way to come back to the common marketplace, the crowd, and all that, yada yada yada. The uncle said, "All right. Well, it's a good thing, and I'm glad that you're safe and you arrived home safely, by the grace of God." So he said, "Next time, take your phone with you." And I said I would. So the lesson to learn from it is, if you're not in a country that has security cameras everywhere, and you're a kid, please just go to a place that's close to the house. And if it's not there, dart back off. It's not as if the family members are going to become sick or fall into illness if they don't get the beverage. I just wanted to show them I'm capable enough. They told me a task, I would achieve it. So that was it. So coming back to the video, mastering the art of storytelling takes practice, but the rewards are immense. For those who are still here, I'm pretty sure you were hooked into the story. So you'll find yourself holding people's attention effortlessly, making lasting impressions, and becoming the person everyone wants to listen to. Now here's a teaser for our next video. We'll be exploring the art of persuasion through storytelling. You'll learn how to use narratives to influence, inspire, and motivate others. It's a skill that can elevate you from a great communicator to a true leader, sharing vision that people are willing to follow. So if you find value in these storytelling techniques, share them with the men in your life who want to become more engaging communicators. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and join our community of modern gentlemen. Together, we're redefining what it means to be a captivating conversationalist in today's world. Until next time, this is Modern Chivalry, reminding you that every conversation is an opportunity to tell a story that leaves a lasting impact. So stay narrative, stay engaging, and keep refining your storytelling skills. Peace to you all.